Hi guys, and welcome to another colour along. I'm colouring in from Awake today, and this is part of my January colour along colour club, which you can either, if you've got the book, all good. If you don't have the book but you want to colour along, then I've created the colour club pack on rjhampson.com, which gives you all of the illustrations in a PDF download that you can print out that I'm going to colour in January. And I think this is my third one, and it's a simpler one. It's from like Sweet and Simple range, and this is called Memoir. And this little cat is drawing, oh no, he's not drawing, is he? Typing his memoirs. Now, before I look into my colouring, I'm going to adjust my illustration. So I've got this tin, which is a circle, and I'm just going to lightly, with a pencil, trace around it. There you go. So you don't need a compass to draw something. And what I think is we need like a sheet. Sheets are flying off his typewriter. Maybe a couple. Maybe even more. All right. I'm going to use this black uni pin fine line, and they're like, what I like about these guys is that they're water and fade proof, so you can draw with this, and then if you use markers, it's not going to smudge them afterwards. It would be nice if they were thicker, but I'm just going to draw the lines to match the thickness of these lines. Now, of course, you don't have to do as much as this if you don't want to, but I think it's fun to mix up and add to your colouring pages if you are so inspired. You know, tracing around the base of a tin is hardly a stretch, is it? I think anyone can do that. And yeah, these Sweet and Simple books, possibly a really good place to start building up your drawing skills. Because all you guys who colour are creative at heart, and I'm sure all of you have skills and abilities in drawing. Why not let those blossom in a place where there's no pressure? Now, good news, it's January and we're halfway through the month, and I've already got some fun pages completed for my upcoming book, and I've got some exciting, all right, yeah, there you go, exciting news too. Got a newsletter being emailed out, which also has a freebie in it. You know, I think this is where I'm supposed to go up here. I might just finish that off too. Now the trick is to let that ink dry before you rub it out. I use these kneadable rubbers, they're just neat. I used to use the just the normal erasers, and they just leave little bits of scunge everywhere and rip the paper in heaps. You can just gently use that kneadable one and it's nice and soft. Right, I'm happy with that. Let's draw a picture on here. Just for fun. All right, I almost forgot. I always put a sheet of acetate and card behind my page, just to make sure that I won't ruin the page underneath it if any marker bleeds through. Alright, I'm going with oranges for this cat. I'm going to go with the terracotta, and I'm going to go with the French vermilion, and I'm going to try and blend it down, and we'll see how we go with that. So I'm going to give him tips on his ears that are white, so I'm going to keep on adjusting the yellow. So this is my terracotta. I'm going to try and use my blending to shape his face in a way. See what you think, or I'm switching to my French vermilion. Oh, that's still wet. I'm going to try and blend it in as much as I can. Some colours blend better than others. Sometimes if you just keep at it, you can sort of soften those lines. There you go. And what I might do is that's a nicer blend, isn't it? I'll lay down my French vermilion first. Now it's good to see a cat putting its time to good use. Writing memoirs, I mean, it's not every cat that's going to do that, is it? Most of the cats that I know are pretty intent on living a life of luxury as opposed to working hard on their memoirs. I mean, what would a cat even write about in its memoirs? Gave myself a good licking today. Maybe it's more like a crime novel. I saw a mouse. I don't know what came over me. Suddenly, the killer instinct came out. And despite all my previous vows, I couldn't stop myself. I think it might be stuff like that, guys. Oh, one colour. Bring back my French vermilion. Maybe there'll be chapters. The terrifying incident of the unwelcome nighttime visitor. Her name was Muffy. I'd seen her from a distance through the window. Until this day, she kept her distance. But on Thursday night, at 8:59 p.m, she had the effrontery to walk into my territory. Oh, I'm pretty happy with that little blend. All right, I've got a darker colour here. What's this? Brick brown. I was going to do brick brown for these tabby stripes. I was thinking of doing it like a darker blacky colour, but I figure if I go brick brown and it's not dark enough, I can colour in darker on top. But if I go dark at the beginning, then it's all going to be weeping in tears. Maybe it would be a complainful. Do you think it would be a complainful? The memoir of the cat? My human was tardy with breakfast this morning. I had unpleasant thoughts about ways to deal with this sort of tardiness. Okay, I was thinking of doing a salmon pink. I might do it for the underbelly, see what that looks like. What do we think? Yeah, I think let's go with it. Salmon pink belly, but I think I might try for a lighter. So I might get my colourless blender, which was terribly abused in my last illustration. Yeah, I'm just going to flood that ear with my colourless blender and then just sort of try and dab on with the plan being that this will just blend my salmon pink into nothingness. The green that I've been rubbing with this has sort of given it a tinge, which I don't really mind. So let's keep going. Let's keep going with that. Hopefully that green will lessen. I'm just sort of lightly tapping this here, hoping that I can smudge it. Be careful with his fingers because they're the tools he's using to write these memoirs. Ah, I almost went to town with the wrong thing. Tales of a tabby cat. Right, I'm putting aside my colourless blender. Oh no, I forgot to do his face, didn't I? Let's do a little bit there. His little snout. The colourless blender is running out of ink. Might need to get my isopropyl alcohol and try and refill it. Lovely. We do the same salmon pink eyebrows. All right, now I've got this typewriter here. I'm thinking one of those really lovely old school ones, so I'm going to grab some forest green and some mint green light. And remember those beautiful old typewriters that had that like metallic body with them speckled enamel? This was what I'm thinking with that. Yeah, maybe we've got some of that enamel up here. I'm also thinking that we need to have a lovely green collar. Going with green because it's sort of the opposite end of the colour spectrum to the orange. So it's always going to work well. And a green bowl. Yeah, let's do a green bowl. Alright, I think that's enough green. What I might do now is find a pink. I'm going with a rose pink. And I'm going to pink his nose, her nose, their nose. And that's all the pink we're going to need. Now let's look at this table. Let's talk about this table. I've got a walnut and I've got a brown grey. I'm just going down first with my brown grey. And the thought is that I'll come in after that with my walnut to add some highlight or some shadows. To areas like that. And like that. Maybe even just along here. think I might do this whole side. Right, what I need is some greys. Thinking warm greys, just to play with the already existing orangey warmths. So I'm going to start with this bar. I think this is like a rubbery bar, isn't it? To grip the paper with and to give the keys. Then I'll get my 150, which is a sort of mid-tone for all these metallic bits. I'll bring that 170 in just to do some convincing shadows. I might go the really light warm grey for the keys, because the keys probably are white. They sort of disappear in there. All right. Let's talk about the sky. I'm thinking a nice blue blending down to a turquoise blue could be a fun thing to do to the sky. So I'm just going to fill that circle with blue. I think this blue is going to work. We'll find out soon enough, won't we? It's sort of more of a turquoisey blue, so I'm hoping that's going to just sort of be a complementary colour to the greens that I've already used, but staying in the contrast to the orange, so it's still just going to work together. Whereas if I had like a non-green based blue, that might just clash a bit. There's my turquoise. Let's get that into play. Alright, that blend wasn't ideal, but it still works, so I'm happy with it. What I might do is underpin it with the turquoise. And then come back at that with the ice blue. Seems to blend better when you've got that sort of vibe going on. Having said that, yeah, I think it's like doing the colourless blender first to blend to nothing. Gives a chance for the alcohol to sort of absorb in. Alright. I've got the inside of his ears, which is left. Let's pull out that rose pink again. Maybe his mouth even. And I'm going to shadow on that rose pink. I'm going to try and do that with a pastel violet. Sort of works, doesn't it? And do that mouth. All right. Pastel violet food. Right, we're getting there. I'm looking at that little necklace and I'm thinking that I'm going to use this arrtx acrylic marker, which is metallic ink, which sort of looks pinky. For a nice sparkly little love heart pendant there, as she writes her memoirs. Now let's get my white warm grey 140, I think it was. And I'm just going to use that to add in shadows to some of these paper bits without smudging my recently applied wet metallic ink, if I can possibly do that. I'm going to leave those sheets white. Should I have cat typing on there? It's a challenge to do that because I can't really hand draw typewriter stuff. And what I might do is bring in my salmon pink, which is very appropriate, I think, and to paint this little salmon pink. Now, there's only one thing left, guys, and you know what it is. It's my posca highlighting. Still a little bit wet, nonetheless. Just highlight the edges of things. You think do little cat's paws patterns in the background here. Footsteps of the mind. Somehow I can draw this without smudging at all. I think I do need some highlights on those little eyebrows. Yeah, I'm going to call that complete. There it is, Memoir from Awake, which is my 3rd January Colour Club illustration for colouring along with. Fabulous, I enjoyed that. I always love these sweet and simple ones to colour. They're so quick, but they're so satisfying. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I will look forward to seeing you in another video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. and I shall see you in another video. All the best.